we discussed some of the phrasal verbs which are commonly used with travel, for example, set off, deal with, check in, put up with.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Hello, Sana.
How are you today?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
Alhamdulillah. And the other, how are you?
They're quiet.
There is no one more.
Just you. It's only you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because everyone else is just quiet. Okay, so we talked about some of the phrasal verbs you can use with travel. See off, for example, to say goodbye, looking forward to, when you're excited, to start your trip, for example. So we talked about this. We also did the listening. We listened to Megan and Clive talk about their jobs, which are related to the tourist trade. They talked about some of the good things and the bad things about their job. After that, we talked in a bit of detail about the present perfect and some of the different ways we can use the present perfect. And we also discussed the close relationship between the present perfect and the past simple. And we agreed that for experiences that happened sometime before now, and maybe we don't know when, or maybe we don't want to say when, we can use, of course, the present perfect. But if you want to give more information about the details, of course, you have to change to the past simple. And if you say exactly when something happened, if you give a date or a time in the past, of course, you have to use the past simple. If something started in the past and it's still true until today, this is present perfect, of course. And then it says, if you want to talk about something which happened a short time ago, you don't really know exactly when, you need to use the present perfect. And you can use words like just, for example. I've just finished my cup of coffee. He's just arrived from the airport, for example, and so on. So we talked about this.
We just started the lesson.
Yes, we've just started the lesson, and you've just said that we started the lesson, and I've just said that you said that we started the lesson. It can go on forever, right?
Yes.
So this is how we can use the present perfect. It's a bit like that. We also talked about the difference between for and since. So for, it's usually for the duration. It means how many years or how many months, usually years, but it shows us how long. This is the idea. So you can say, for example, I've been studying English for 2 months. So you give the duration of your studying, right? But if you want to give the starting point, we use since. So you can say, I've started teaching English since July, for example. So we talked about this. We talked about the difference between been and gone. You answered it correctly, I remember. Then we did the listening. If you remember, we did this. We also talked about the difference between I've met, I met, you've had, you had, we've won, we won. So it's a small difference. So you need to pay attention.
It's difficult to choose one of them, especially when they speak fast.
Right, you're right. The only way to get this correctly without any mistake is if these phrases are used with a time word or a time phrase which is specific for the tense. For example, if you say, for example, they told me they'll be late 5 minutes ago. So when you hear ago, you automatically think, this is past simple. So there's no have here, for example. Or if you said, for example, she's lived in the UK since 2001. Since, present perfect, right? So if you have these words in the sentence, of course, they help you confirm which one it is, past simple, present perfect. So we did this, but now we have this nice exercise.
Yes.
So in this lesson, we didn't finish this, right? We didn't do it.
No, we didn't do, no.
Yeah. So this is where we're gonna start today. So first of all, let's read a little bit about these two people. So here we have Louis and Veronica. So this is their restaurant in the Canary Islands. So they have a restaurant in the Canary Islands. We need to put all of the tenses here, either in the past simple or the present perfect. Okay, so you need to decide which one to use. And after that, of course, we can check your answers and do the listening to.
If you up the page a little bit, because I have a problem in my, I don't know, because when I connected with the internet, something like box appear here in my screen. I don't know how to remove, because I press OK and cannot remove. I don't know, maybe virus.
Probably a virus, yes.
Yes, and I don't know. Okay.
Can you see it now?
Okay, thank you. No, it's clear.
Okay, good. Okay, so you can start, and when you're ready, when you finish all of them, you can check them together, okay? So everyone work on these exercises, on these sentences, I mean, choose the right verb in the right tense. Present perfect or past simple? This is the question.
Hi, how are you, teacher?
Hello, hi, how are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. What's the problem now? I think I didn't see anything now because maybe problem. This is your computer or what?
Can you see that?
No, it's okay. Okay, it's
okay.
Okay.
Can you still see it, or is it black again?
It's okay. I see it.
Okay. Remember, when you're ready, just say we're ready, and we can check your answers.
It's ready.
Okay, Najat's ready. Najat's awake today. Good. Malak and Sana, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. Nice. Let's check the answers.
Okay.
So let's divide this. Okay. Let's. I don't know how we can divide it, but okay. Let's stop here, and after that we can stop here and this way. I think we can do it in 3 parts. Maybe we can. Yeah, I think we can do it in 3 parts. Okay, so Najat, you can do the first part.
Okay. The easy one. When we were younger, we came here on holiday every year. Then we moved here in 2007 and opened a restaurant.
Okay, so all of them are in the past simple?
Yes, because when?
Okay.
2007.
Right, so we have a specific time in the past. You're right. Okay, Sana.
But just I have a question here. What about every year?
Yeah.
The same sentence.
Yes,
No.
the same sentence, but I
No
don't
full
know.
stop.
Where's every year?
Here.
Ah, yeah. When we were younger, we came here on holiday every year. So this is a repeated action in the past. By the way, in a situation like this,
I think it's like routine. Every year he comes, he comes there.
But it is a routine. It's not like it is a routine. But is it a present routine or is it a past routine?
When in the past?
Because when he was younger.
Yes, exactly. So
okay, that's confused me.
Now I have an extra question.
Okay.
There's another way of saying we came here on holiday every year, because we have every year, so there's a bit of a repetition happening here. So maybe Najat, you can tell us, we can use something else instead of came. There's another thing.
We use it to come.
Yeah, very good. That's it, right? We used to come.
To come, yes. Okay.
This is another way of talking about past habits.
Repetition.
Yeah, you stole this from pre-intermediate, didn't you, Najat? Pre-intermediate B, right?
Yes.
Yes, because in pre-intermediate B we talked a little bit about this, but you're completely right. Yes, used to come or came. It's okay. All right, now okay. So now you can start from number 5.
Okay. We have lived here since then, and we have just opened a guest house on the other side, on the Ireland. Ireland.
Okay.
And we and we have had a lot of visitors from home since then.
Okay.
Okay, I will stop or I will continue.
Let's give it. Ihab, are you there? Let's see if
yes,
he's... Okay, so you can continue from my parents.
My parents arrived last week. It is the 4th time they visited us this year.
What do you want to use here? Number 9.
They visited.
There's a clue here.
Yeah, but okay. Go continue. You have
visited us this year.
Veronica's family.
Veronica families are arriving today too. She just went. To pick them up at the airport.
Right. Okay. Let's see someone else. Malak, would you like to complete?
Yes. We went to Turkey twice, but our last holiday was 18 months ago, and we didn't have we didn't have any time off since then.
Okay. Now, before we listen and check.
Doctor Malak, there's a twice in 11.
Okay, Najat, I'll tell you what. Why don't we start from the beginning? All of them. Let's see. If you think, Najat, or anyone else, if you think we need to change something or maybe correct something,
11
let's do it.
13.
You think 11 and 13?
13 because since then we haven't had.
Okay, what do you want for?
We haven't had.
Yes.
You think we haven't?
Yes.
Okay,
like a sentence of حاجة سنة.
Yes.
Okay, so
and 11 twice we went to Turkey. We have been to Turkey twice. Experience that.
With time expression.
Okay, I'm going to write your answers. We've been. So Najat, you think we've been, right?
Yes.
Okay. What else? What else do you want to change?
13. Yes, 13. We haven't had any time off since then.
Why do you think haven't had?
Because since منذ ذلك الوقت.
Time expression. Because time expression since.
Okay. Any other answers?
Number 9 of Hisham, مش عارفة اسمه. The fourth time, the first and second and fourth had you with present perfect. They have visited us.
Okay, you want to use have here?
Yes, have visit.
We were.
Number 10, حتى here wrong.
What do you want here, number 10?
Just مش الماضي متاع go هي gone or been.
He has just gone.
Just gone.
Okay.
Just gone.
Wait.
She has just gone. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
Your answer is still there, Ihab. Don't worry. It's a democratic class.
Okay, then Dr. Suhaib.
Yeah.
Just I ask about this when
that's correct.
This day about this year, about this time expression, about past simple, not present perfect.
It's the first time هي بروحها هذه clue نستخدم فيها مع present perfect.
Yeah.
Last week.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see this tip? Where is the tip? Here. Okay, can you see the left side of the page? Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a bit of a rule here it says after this is the first time, or this is the second time, or this is the third time. After we use this phrase, we need to use the present perfect. To get the idea?
Yes, I understand.
So this means if you see this, you cannot use the past simple. This is the first time, or this is the second time, or this is the fourth time. It means so far. حتى الآن يعني لو من ترجمة زي ما بيقول بالليبي يعني كأنها هي تقول تو هذه فيرونيكا تحكي على عائلتها شو قالت هذه تو الرابعة مرة السنة هذه السنة ما كملتش. Do you get the idea?
Okay, I understand.
So maybe in another month, maybe they will visit for the 5th time. فهذه في التعبير هذا اللي هو it's the first time, it's the second time, it's the 4th time, till now, until now, حتى الآن. ما يقول ضمن المعنى يعني. So للأسف مجبرين هنا نستعمل present perfect. We have to use the present perfect.
Yes.
Also,
I am.
There's another tip. ملاحظة ثانية إيهاب. just تعتبر من الphrases حتى ما تمشيش. Yeah.
Present perfect. Yes.
تستعمل بكثرة مع present perfect.
Yes. So I am democratic. But so don't worry about that. Just I share about any correct my wrong.
Yeah, of course. That's why we're all here to learn.
We help each other with the.
Completely right. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Cookery.
Okay. Now let's confirm all of this. Let's see if all of this and our corrections. Let's see if all of it is right. And let's see who needs to buy chocolate. Let's find out. So we need track 23. Let's go to track 23. CD1, track 23. Okay.
Here on holiday every year. Then we moved here in 2007 and opened a restaurant. We've lived here since then, and we've just opened a guest house on the other side of the island. Of course, we've had a lot of visitors from home since then. My parents arrived last week. It's the 4th time they've visited us this year. Veronica's family are arriving today too. She's just gone to pick them up from the airport. The main problem is holidays. We've been to Turkey twice, but our last holiday was 18 months ago, and we haven't had any time off since then.
Okay, very nice. So it means all of the blue corrections were correct.
No, they visited, not they have visited.
Which one?
Number 9. I think I hear visited, not we visited.
Okay, we can take a look at the script because you know it's a little fast. It's a bit hard to notice. Malak's right. Let me take you to the script. So CD1 track 23. Okay, here it is. Can you see it, Malak? Number 9.
Yes, I visit.
On the left side, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, we've visited. Okay. So this means now all of our answers are correct. But I want you to listen one more time because it's a nice conversation. It's not really a conversation, it's a monologue, but I think it's useful for us to listen to it one last time. And let me try to cover our previous answers. Let's cover them. Okay, now this way we have all the right answers. Okay, let's listen one last time.
Track 23.
When we were younger, we came here on holiday every year. Then we moved here in 2007 and opened a restaurant. We've lived here since then, and we've just opened a guest house on the other side of the island. Of course, we've had a lot of visitors from home since then. My parents arrived last week. It's the 4th time they've visited us this year. Veronica's family are arriving today too. She's just gone to pick them up from the airport. The main problem is holidays. We've been to Turkey twice, but our last holiday was 18 months ago, and we haven't had any time off since then.
Okay. Nice. Let's move on. Okay, write these people things. I think we can skip this. It's too much writing. Okay, let's continue talking about the present perfect. But this time we're gonna talk about the two present perfect sisters. So actually we have two kinds of present perfect. One of them is the present perfect simple, and the other one is the present perfect continuous. So we will find out what's the difference between the present perfect simple, which is, by the way, present perfect simple. This is the one that we used here. All of this was present perfect simple. But we also have present perfect continuous. So this means we have two types. The differences are not too big, by the way. And in some examples, we can use both of them in the same way. But there are a few differences, and we want to learn these few differences. This is in grammar, of course. But before we do the grammar part, we have a little bit of vocabulary to do first. Let's do the vocab first. Let's take a look. So remember that unit 3, the focus of the unit, the whole unit is travel, tourism, and all of that. Now, let's start with a little bit here with some vocabulary. So here we have some phrases with travel, get, and go on. So we have 3 kinds of exercises here. Let's start with the first one. Let me explain what you have to do. You have to put number 1 if you think you need to use the word travel. For example, we say travel on your own. So let me put it here in this box. So for example, we need to divide these. So travel on your own is here. So this means if you want to use on your own, this phrase, you should use the verb travel. If you want to talk about into a car or out of a car, you should use get. So you can say get into a car, and you can say get out of a car, out of a car. Let's use. And for example, the last verb we have is go on. So we can use go on with a trip, for example, to go on a trip. Do you get the idea? So we have actually 3 verbs. These are our 3 verbs. So first verb, travel. Second verb is get. And the last verb is go on. Can you see the 3 verbs? So your job is to match each verb with the suitable phrase. So if you think it's travel, just write number 1. If you think it's get, write number 2. If you think it's go on, write number 3. Is the exercise clear? Do you get the idea? Is it clear or not clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to use the 3 verbs. We need to match them with the right phrases. So you have to try travel. Do you say travel back from somewhere? Do we say get back from somewhere? Or do we say go on from somewhere? Which one? What do you think? This is what we want to do. So let's start with back from somewhere. Which verb do you want to use? Travel, get, or go on? What do you think for this one? What's the best match? Is it 1, or is it 2, or is it 3?
Travel.
Travel back from somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, who agrees with Najat? Who thinks it's travel back from somewhere? Or maybe someone else has another answer.
Get.
I think get back.
Get.
back.
Get back, yes.
Travel back.
Okay, so let's write both answers. So, because there's no agreement here. So maybe travel back or get back. Let's write both of them. Travel back, get back. What about a guided tour? Which verb should we use? Should we use travel, get, or go on? Which one do you think is the most suitable, is the best one? What do you think, Sana?
I think travel.
Travel?
Yes.
Travel, a guided tour?
Maybe go on.
Go on, Malak thinks go on.
Get.
Get a guided tour?
Yes.
Okay, should I write?
Get.
Should I write 1, 2, 3 for all of them?
No, get a guider tour.
Get, does everybody agree with Malak? Get, do you want to use get?
Yeah.
Okay, let's use get. What about independently? What should we use with this adverb? Should we use travel, should we use get, or should we use go on?
Like on your own. Travel.
You think travel?
Yes. بروح يعني.
Okay. Okay. What do you think, Sana? Do you have any other answers? Do you think maybe you should use another verb?
Yes, I agree with Najat.
You think travel? Okay. What about a journey? Can you hear us? Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, I think get.
Do you understand the question, Ihab? Do you get the question?
Yes, I understand this question.
Okay, so you have to choose one of the 3 verbs: travel, get, or go on. Okay?
That's okay.
Okay, so what about journey, Ihab? What do you think is the most suitable verb?
Travel.
Do you think travel a journey? Do you think that's correct?
Yes. Travel to the zone.
Okay. Any other guesses?
Go on.
Go on a journey?
Yes.
What about get? Get a journey? Can we say get a journey?
Get, I think get.
Get.
Yeah.
Get on journey.
Get. We don't have get on. We have only get. Or go on.
Go on, not get on. Go on. You're nerd.
Okay, so go on a journey. I think you used all of your energy in the previous exercise, Najat.
At first and at the end.
Yeah, you have superpowers only for the beginning, super grammar powers, and after that, you need a break.
Loud your voice from time to time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I should increase the volume. Okay. Now, what about this one? First class, business class, economy class. What should we use? Which verb do you think we should use? Should we say travel business class? Should we say get business class? Or should we say go on business class?
Yes, travel.
Travel? You also
travel.
think travel? Travel?
Travel, yeah.
Okay. What about a cruise? Which verb should we use for a cruise? Travel a cruise, get a cruise, go on a cruise. What do you think?
What's the meaning of the cruise?
Go on.
Good question.
Go on a cruise.
Who can explain what a cruise is in English? What is a cruise?
A cruise traveling by ship.
Correct. Correct.
Hmm.
Is it a
Travel.
cheap? Is it a cheap ship or is it an expensive ship?
I think it's cheap.
A cheap
Not
ship.
yeah.
Who agrees or maybe disagrees with Tanan?
Expensive. Because hard pronunciation, I think expensive.
This is a good linguistic theory. If it's hard to pronounce, it must be expensive. But you're right. In this example, you're right. Yeah. It's actually expensive. When you take a cruise, the main goal is not traveling. The main goal is luxury. It's like a 5-star hotel. Do you get the idea? So a cruise is like it's like one of those giant ships, like the Titanic, for example. There are swimming pools. There are, there are restaurants on the ship. There are dance floors. There are musicians, theater. Yeah, it's like it's a whole vacation on a ship. So these are very expensive. They're not cheap usually. But young people don't like them a lot. It's usually for older rich people. Old rich people, they like them. They go on cruises.
Maybe that's why for a show, not for travel.
Yeah, it's for fun, for luxury, yes. for pleasure, not for traveling.
Yes.
Yeah. And they usually, with a cruise, they go around a certain area. For example, like the Riviera in southern France and Italy. Okay, so they go around the Riviera and they have a few stops in Monaco, for example, in Lombardy, in certain nice places. They disembark, they leave the ship, they do a little bit of shopping, have a little bit of fun, go back to the ship and move to the next. It's like this. These are, or for example, in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas, in that area. So depends on the area. Okay, so what do we use for cruise? What do you think? Travel, get, go on. What do you think?
Travel.
Okay. What about here or there by 10:30?
Like a journey. Go on, I think.
Get there.
You think go on cruise, Najat?
Yes, like a journey or tour.
Okay, let's write your answer. Go on. What about here, there by 10:30? Get?
Yeah.
Okay. What about together or separately? Which verb?
Travel together.
Travel, get, or go on?
Travel.
Travel separately, go on separately, or get separately? What do you think?
Go on.
Travel?
Like on your own.
Travel, yeah. Travel.
Go on together.
Go on together, maybe? Let's write both of them, okay? 1 and 3. Let's write 1 and 3. 1 and 3. Okay, light. What do you think we mean by light, by the way, here? What do we mean?
Luggage.
Yeah, we're talking about luggage.
Yes, like us Libyan.
Like us Libyans. We take only a few clothes. We don't take a lot of things.
Suitcase only.
Yeah. Small, very small suitcase. Maybe just one t-shirt, one pair of underwear. That's all. That's how Libyans travel. We travel very light. But there are some people like the Japanese. They have giant suitcases. They put in gargoush, harissa, zumita, aswan, and they take it with them to other countries. We Libyans don't do that, of course. We don't do that.
And even
Helva, all kinds of strange things. All kinds of spices. When I look at our bags, I look at my mother and I tell her, "What's this?"
Baklawa. You forget baklawa.
Baklawa is good. The problem is is Gargoush and Osban, and you know these things. This is a disaster.
Wallahi, teacher, I faced some like this problem when I travel in Manchester. Wallahi.
Yeah. So
not me. My colleague.
They want you to take these things with you.
Yeah, wallahi. غير تحشمت بس.
Yeah, it's a very strange phenomenon. It's a strange Libyan phenomenon. So this is.
I don't know what's the thing because it's put it in the bag. I don't know what's the bag inside of this bag because I couldn't open it because it's
locked with a key.
Yeah, no, not locked with the key, but for me, it's I think behavior cannot if you someone give you something to
take.
Yes, and cannot open it and see what there.
Actually, I think in this situation, the first thing you should do is open it. What if it's drugs or something, and you'll get stuck in the airport? You can't trust anybody nowadays. You have to check.
I don't know because I take it and but it's okay.
Yeah, it was.
There is no any problem. Just like what you said.
Yeah, probably food.
Gargoush and هذه مقطع رجدة.
Yeah.
And والله teacher.
Yeah. Okay. So
I hate
this
myself. Really.
Yeah. This is the opposite of traveling light. If you want to think of people who travel light, always think of businessmen, especially single businessmen. They have a very small suitcase, you know, on wheels, and because maybe they have just business meetings 2-3 days and they go back, right? So they have very small bags, and most of them are carry-on bags. So it means you know, in the luggage of the airplane. So it's a carry-on bag, very small. That's it. This is traveling light. So I kind of answered this one. What should we use with light?
Travel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. On off a bus or on off a plane, a train. Which verb should we use for this? What do you think?
Get, I think get.
Get on a bus, get off a bus.
Yes.
Get on a train, get off a train. Okay. Package holiday. What about this word, package holiday? What do you think?
Go on.
Go on?
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one, a taxi.
Taxi, get a taxi.
Get
a taxi, yes.
Okay, now we need to confirm these answers. Let's check page 132 and let's see our answers. Let's see how many of these are correct. Maybe you can find out why. So here we are. Can you see them on the right side? Can you see this on the right?
Yes.
So this means you travel on your own, you travel independently, you can travel first class, business class, you can travel economy class, you can travel together or you can travel separately. And of course you should, it's easier to travel light if you can. So travel light. With get, you get into a car or you get out of a car, you get back from somewhere, you get here by 10:30, you get there by 10:30, you get on a bus, you get off a bus, you get off a plane, on a train, or off a train, you get a taxi home, you get a taxi to work, or you can just say get a taxi without saying home or work. You don't need to say it, it's optional and extra. You go on a trip, you go on a guided tour, you go on a journey, you go on a cruise, you go on a package holiday. All right. So of course, this is, we call this collocation. I think we've talked about this before in maybe pre-intermediate and I think even elementary students, I've told them about this. This is called, when we match a certain verb with a noun, or maybe with a noun or a phrase, it's called a collocation. So you should say travel light. We cannot say get light or go on light. Doesn't fit. Just like, for example, breakfast. In English, have breakfast. This is the right collocation. Eat breakfast. In Arabic, eat breakfast is fine. In English, it's not fine. It's a little strange. It's a little awkward. Doesn't fit well. If you want to talk about breakfast or lunch or dinner in English, use have. Have lunch, have breakfast, have dinner. This is the correct collocation. So this is a collocation exercise. Now let's take a quick look at the vocab, the meaning. So independently, I think it's clear, without anyone else, right? Without the help of other people. This is independently. First class is the most expensive. Economy is the cheapest way to travel. Travel light, it means with small amount of luggage. Okay, so there's something important I wanted to show you. There's a small difference, by the way, between trip and journey. Okay, so the word, because in Arabic, بالعربي شنو الفرق بين trip و journey؟ احنا في العربي اثنين نقول لهم رحلة صح؟ رحلة وخلاص. But in English, it has a bit of a different meaning. A trip is like a business trip, for example. Short, it's short. This is a business trip. But a journey is longer. Do you get the idea? So a journey usually takes a longer time, and it means you're moving. You're not staying in one place. So can you see the example here? We went on a journey across Europe. What does this mean, a journey across Europe? What does it mean?
رحلة عبر أوروبا.
Yes, but what about this? I went on a business trip to Berlin last month. What about this one? What do we say?
Like visit.
It's like a visit. بالضبط. A trip is like a visit. It's a short time. No, less. Business trips. Business trip أكثر بهالبال. Business trip أقل من أسبوع. Usually it's only 2-3 days. Business trips. Business trips are the shortest. They're not long. A journey usually is longer, and you go many places. Package holiday. I think everybody knows a package holiday. It means everything is included in a package holiday, right? So the hotel, the meals, the traveling, the tickets, everything. So it says a lot of British people go on package holidays to Spain every summer. All right, so this is a package holiday. Okay, so we finished this part. Now I want you to go back, and we have the next question. This time we want to use all of these verbs, travel, get, and go on. We want to use them, but you have to pay attention to the form. So this means maybe it's in the present, maybe it's in the present perfect, maybe it's in the past. Do you get the idea? So you will have to change the verbs sometimes. You can't use them in the infinitive only. Some of them maybe are in the infinitive, but not all of them. Do you understand the question? Is it clear?
Yes.
So let's use the verbs travel, get, go on. Let's use them, but you might have to change the form. So take some time. When you finish number 7, tell me when you're ready, and we can check them together. But just give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right. Sometimes get access when I'm late.
Okay, have you finished?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's start. So, okay, Malak, you can do the first one.
Okay. I like going on long car journey.
Okay, let's write it. So now you can do number 2.
Yes. I sometimes get a taxi home after work.
Okay. What about number 3, Najat?
I went on a guided tour last year.
Just a second, let me check my... What did you say? I went?
Yes, on a guided tour last year.
You went on a guided tour. Is that what you said?
I went on.
Okay, let's write it. And number 4, okay. Ihab, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
Can you do number 4?
I like to travel on my own.
Again?
I like to travel on my own.
Travel without anything, just travel directly, you mean?
I like to travel. I like travel. Like traveling. Yeah, I like travel. Do travel.
Can we use travel directly without anything? or do we have to make small change?
Do travel? I don't know. I like
The same number 1.
Yeah, number 1 has like. Can you check number 1? Yeah.
going on. Traveling. I like traveling.
Yes.
Okay.
Or I like to travel. Because with the verb like, anything after like, you have to use either to plus infinitive or ing. Okay, Malak, number 5. Can you do number 5?
Okay. I sometimes get taxis when I'm late.
Okay. Sana, number 6.
I've never gone on a cruise.
Present perfect.
Yes.
Nice. Because we have never. Is it gone, or maybe is there another?
Been on.
What's the difference?
This meaning been on. Oh no. Yes.
Or is it the same? Is it the same if you say been and gone, or is there a difference?
There is a difference between been and gone.
And for cruise, which do you think is more suitable?
Go on, I know, for a cruise, yes. Because
correct.
I wrote it in.
Yeah, go on, but in the present, I mean in the past participle, when you change it, because go, you can change it either way, either gone or been. Go, you can do it in both ways.
I don't know here what's the rules, but I know it's.
Okay, Najat, what do you think?
Been on cruise.
But why? Why should we use been, in your opinion?
It's like an experience. مشيت وجيت.
That's it. This is the meaning of been. It means you go and you come back.
I know the difference between gone and been. Been this meaning because we take it in the last lesson.
Correct. Yeah.
I think there is a rule for this. I forget it maybe. That's why.
No, the idea now you have to keep in mind there are two ways to answer a grammatical question. The first way to answer a grammatical question is just to think of the grammatical rule. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not very good. You know why? Because you're missing the meaning sometimes. Because if you think of a cruise, do we stay permanently on a cruise or do we come back? Do you get the idea? Because if you say I've never gone on a cruise, I've never been on a cruise. Gone sounds like you go and you haven't been, you're not back yet. Do you get the idea?
But I think here never, this meaning we don't go at all, never.
Yes, it's something you haven't experienced yet. And with experience, been is better with experiences. I've never been to Italy, for example.
Okay.
Or I've never been to Malta. I've never been to the desert. It's something I haven't experienced yet in my life. You get the idea? So been makes a lot more sense in this context. All right, and the last one, Malak, can you do the last one?
Okay. When I go away, I usually travel light.
So you want to use an infinitive. What do you want to use?
I usually to travel light. I travel light.
Infinitive, you mean? Just travel or traveling or to travel.
To travel. I usually travel light.
Correct. Travel without anything, because this is present simple.
Yes, present
right?
simple, because usually.
Yeah, so present simple. Okay, now we want to tick the sentences which are true, or at least one of you will tick the sentences which are true for you. And if they're not true, maybe you can make them true for you. Okay, I'm going to start just to show you. So you can do, I like going on long, I like going on long car journeys. I sometimes get a taxi after work. No, I don't get a taxi after work. I went on a guided tour last year. I didn't go on a guided tour last year. I like traveling on my own. Yes, I do. I like traveling on my own. I sometimes get taxis when I'm late. I don't get taxis when I'm late. I've never been on a cruise. This is true. I've never been on a cruise.
For this sentence, number 5, I sometimes don't get the taxi when I'm late, maybe.
Sometimes.
Because here the sentence, when someone late, there is not maybe a taxi. That's why here I put it negative. Don't get taxis when I am late.
But here the idea that it's not a positive negative question. It's
I
just
know, but here
about
I
yourself,
don't know
maybe.
for this. I don't know for this sentence. I understand like this. I sometimes don't taxis when I'm late.
But the idea, generally speaking, is if you want to use negatives with adverbs of frequency, it's a lot better to use usually. You can say I don't usually go out, or I don't always get taxis. Sometimes is not very helpful if you want to use a negative. What I'm saying is you can use adverbs of frequency in negative. You can use usually. You can say I usually go out. I don't usually go out. For example, I usually eat chocolate. I don't usually eat chocolate. I always get taxis. I don't always get taxis. So you can use adverbs of frequency with negative, no problem. But sometimes is not one of them. It's a bit hard to use sometimes in the negative. I don't sometimes get doesn't fit. I sometimes don't get, also a little weird. If you want to use it in negative, just throw away sometimes, and just say don't. I don't get. But if you still want to use an adverb of frequency, change sometimes with another one. With usually, for example. I don't usually.
Okay.
This is also true. So this is about me. I'm talking about myself here. So I want each one of you to maybe talk about themselves, each one of you. And if this is true, just say it as it is. If it's not true, of course, you need to maybe make a few changes. Let's start with you, Sana. Tell us about your traveling habits. Do you like going on long car journeys?
No, I don't like, because sometimes when you stay long time in the car, I feel like disease.
Dizzy, you mean? You feel dizzy?
Yeah, dizzy, yes.
Okay. What about number 2?
No, for this even I don't get a taxi because I have a car and I used my car.
Okay, so this is false. Number 3. Did you go on a guided tour last year?
No.
Okay. Do you like traveling on your own?
No.
You don't?
Because in my own, no, I should bring my father or my brothers with me.
Okay.
Because
okay.
in our religion we cannot travel on my own.
Yes.
Okay, but would you like to travel alone?
No. No.
It's okay, you can be honest.
Yeah, no.
Okay, number 5.
Even my number 5, no.
Yeah, it's because it's similar to number 2.
Yes.
I
have never been a cruise.
We actually forgot on. I've never been on. I forgot on. Have you been on a cruise before, Sana?
No.
No. So we can say
Oh no.
all of them are no.
Because we are Libyan women, when I can go, just live in here in Libya, I cannot go anywhere more.
Just
anywhere
survive.
More.
Only survive in Libya.
Yes.
What about number 7 here?
No, I traveled 2 times, but one of them in Tunisia and another in Manchester. And
did you travel light or not light?
No, big bag.
So it's the typical Libyan situation, right? Lots of bags.
But it's not but it's not for something food. No, and my clothes.
Just lots of clothes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, what about you, Ihab? Tell us a little bit about your traveling habits. Do you like long car journeys?
No, because I like by ship or cruise.
Okay.
Ship. Yes, ship.
So
because car maybe about become tired or like that, but in ship the best.
Okay. Do you get a taxi after work?
After work, maybe yes. Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go on a guided tour last year? By the way, what does guided tour mean, anyways?
Number 2 in Libya, but in in Turkey metro.
Okay.
Not taxi. It's okay.
But what about number 3? I went on a guided tour. I want you to tell us, what does guided tour mean, anyways? What does it mean when you say guided tour?
مرشد.
A tour
Yes.
with a guide.
That's it, yeah. A tour with a guide. مرشد زي ما قلت صح؟ معناها رحلة وكان عندكم فيها مرشد.
No. I don't like this guide.
But did you go on one of these last year?
Yes. But
you did?
without
without a guide tour.
Yes.
A tour guide, I mean. Okay, so it means no. If you went on a trip without a tour guide, then no. Do you like traveling on your own?
Oh, I like it because maybe with my friend, but I like travel on my own. Yeah? Yes.
Okay. Do you get taxis when you're late?
Maybe yes.
Okay.
Maybe yes. Okay.
Do you think maybe we should use go on taxis when I'm late instead of get? But we used get, right?
Get maybe.
Sorry, just let me check very quickly something.
Okay.
Yeah, we used get. Get a taxi. Yeah, get a taxi. It's correct. Okay. Okay, so you can continue. You have So yeah, about taxis. Do you get taxis when?
Yes, maybe.
Okay.
Number 6.
Have you been on a cruise before?
Yeah, I have been on a cruise always. A cruise about expensive ship, huh?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I used it maybe 10 times. Yes, in Turkey, but not in Libya. Yes.
But okay, what
Not
kind?
expensive, not expensive, but like like hotel, ship like hotel.
But did you sleep on the ship?
Yes, maybe 5 hours or
5 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this means this is a cruise. Yes, I think you can.
This cruise. This is a cruise, huh? Yes.
Yeah. Mm.
When I go away, I usually travel. What's the meaning? I usually travel light. I
It
don't
means you don't take a lot of things in your bag. Small bag, few clothes, not a lot of clothes.
Small bag, yes. I use always small bag.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's check with Malak. What about you, Malak? Tell us a little bit about your traveling habits.
Okay, I like going on long car journeys. I never get a taxi home after work.
Okay.
I went on a guided tour last year.
You did? Was it last year?
Yes, last year.
I
like no, I don't like to travel on my own.
Okay.
Yes, I've never been. I never get a taxi when I'm late. I've never been on a cruise. When I go away, I usually travel light. Yes.
You travel light?
Yes, because I want to get from there, from what I.
You want to, you go light and you come back heavy.
Yes.
I think a strange woman.
I think that's smart. You go light and come back heavy. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, so you can see these are,
like clever woman.
Yes, it's a good plan. This way she can bring back lots of things.
But I think because her journey for
short time
for fun and not for
yes, 1 week
for
or two,
study or for to
yes
to stay there and for
it's a holiday.
long
holiday tourism. It's tourism. Tourism and shopping. 1 week. Yes. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about this article. We have a few speaking questions. I want your opinion on these questions. Okay, so the first one is asking, which places do guidebooks about your country recommend for tourists? So I don't know if we can answer this question because our country is not a very touristic country. At least now it's definitely not. Before 2011, it was, just a little bit. It was just starting, I think, to become not touristic, but there were a few tourists who came to Libya. Not a lot, a few. But what places do you think are recommended in our country? Which touristic places do you think are recommended? What do you think?
You mean place the tourists go to in our country?
Yeah, the question is asking.
At the bus in our city, we have a lot of tourists, I think. There is Gabraoun and Jarma.
That's true, yeah. I remember in 2009 and 10, I knew a lot of foreigners, and many of them used to go to Gabraoun and go to the deserts, especially on New Year's Eve, and many of them went to the desert. Yeah, it was it was kind of popular. It was becoming a, it was becoming popular.
Yes.
And even there is Shahat, and this is the heuristic place, yes.
Yeah, Shahat. We also have Damis, I think.
Yeah.
What else? Important touristic places. We have Cactus Mountains. Some people like mountains and old things, maybe.
And even the old city here in Tripoli.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the old city. True. Okay, so there are a few places that are maybe recommended for tourists who are interested in visiting Libya, maybe. But why do you think these places are recommended? I mean, why would a tourist, imagine I'm a tourist, okay? Why would I be interested in Gabran or the old city or Shahat or the Green Mountain? What's special about these places?
I think these places can tell anyone the history for this country and how these people before live and
yeah.
And yes.
Okay, very good
answer.
answer.
And this place can tell the tourists these things.
Yeah. So these places can help tourists understand the history of our country. Good point. Any other points? Maybe Ihab or Najat or Malak? What do you think, Malak?
For medicine, I think.
For treatment, you mean?
Yes, for treatment. For skin. I think anybody have a disease in their skin, they go to there to this water. Useful for them.
Sorry, can you repeat your last point? I think your television is on too loud, Malak.
Yes, okay, I will.
So, do you know what we call Gabran is called an oasis? Do you know what oasis means? What does it mean, oasis? Who knows what it means? Gabran is an oasis. In the desert. What's the difference between a lake and an oasis? What's the difference? And we also have another word, which is pond. And we have another word, which is swamp. And we have, what else? Other words which are related to water. Okay, I think maybe these are new. Who can tell me what's the difference between them? I know all of you know lake. Lake is not here. But what about the other words? Who can guess?
Lake, maybe if water comes from river or something.
Okay,
lake.
So water in a lake maybe comes from a river. Okay.
Yeah, but right. I think oasis, no. Water in the desert. There is no source for this water.
I don't know if there is a source or not, to be honest, with oasis. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not a specialist.
Because maybe the water comes from
underground.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But in Arabic,
I don't.
What's the word oasis in Arabic?
Waha.
Yes, Waha. So Gabran is an oasis. It's not a lake, right? What about swamp and pond?
Pond بركة ماء.
Okay.
Swamp مستنقع.
What's the difference?
One
in English?
Small.
Okay. Ponds are smaller than swamps. You're right.
Yeah.
But there's another difference. Can you think of another difference?
I think related to rain or something.
I think so too, because swamps, they usually form when there's excessive rain, right? especially in some places in the world, like in India, in the tropical countries and tropical areas. But ponds, you can have them, I think, anywhere. So it's a small, it's a small area of water. Okay, so Malak said Gabron is good for treatment.
Most of Western country or people like the hotter area, like Libya.
Yes, that's a good point. Maybe they like the hot weather, the beaches.
It's and the cheap.
Yes.
When you change the currency.
Correct. It's very cheap. But of course now the situation is not safe and the country is unstable.
Before the war we were
correct. Yeah.
People and kind people.
Yeah. I remember lots of people were telling me. True. Before the war, many people were starting to visit the country. Okay, so
and even I have something to say. Even for us, we have a problem. We don't know a lot of place for me, I don't visit like Gdamis or this is the main problem for us, because our country cannot know a lot of things about our country. Yes,
because do you know why? Because Sana, I think we don't have a tourist industry. We don't have a tourist infrastructure. So there's no local tourism and there's no international tourism. There's tourism بالبركة وخلاص. That's what we had. That's what we had before the war, and now there's no tourism at all because we never really cared about tourism. I mean, as a government, this government or even the previous government, and even the people, we have oil. We don't care about tourism. How much money are tourists going to bring to the country in 1 year? 10 million. We can sell $10 million of oil in maybe 1 week or less. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
Our country doesn't care. We have oil. We're rich. We don't need tourism. But for example, countries like Tunisia, because they're not as rich as Libya, they don't have oil. They have to take care of their tourist industry and tourism.
Yes, and even the people worked with us, French people, they know a lot of things about information about our country. We don't know about it.
True. Yes.
Really.
Yeah, because it's not.
Maybe.
There's no marketing. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
These places are not. These places need marketing. They need to be advertised. It's like in other countries. If you go to Turkey, there are many. For example, there are many tourists who are local from Turkey. Because, for example, Istanbul, not everybody lives in Istanbul. There are many Turkish people who don't live in Istanbul, who come for tourism. Do you get the idea? But there are lots of deals. There's lots of marketing. There are lots of offices, hotels. So there are lots of things to encourage even local tourism. We don't have that here. There's nothing to encourage local tourism here. There are no advertisements. There are no services. There are no cheap buses or cheap planes. There's nothing to guarantee your safety, right? There's nothing. So
Wallahi, I am looking forward to going to Gdamis and see this city.
Now going to Tajura is risky now.
If they will be safe, maybe I will plan to go there and to see this city.
Yeah, so this is the problem. Yes. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about guidebooks. Has anyone used a guidebook before? Have you ever used a guidebook? Do you know what a guidebook is, Najat, Can you tell us what a guidebook is, Najad?
Yes, it's like a book.
Okay.
There's a lot of information about somewhere you want to go.
Okay, so there's lots of information.
It's
Correct.
like hotels, restaurants, and
like
reviews, places.
Yes.
Okay. What else you have? Can you find in a guidebook?
Street, name of street, and
names of streets, addresses of maybe tourist places.
Made the information easy.
Yes, it's easy to find because you have all the information in one book. Correct. Yes. Has anybody used the guidebook before?
And update information. I forget that.
Okay. Have you used a guidebook before? You have when you travel?
Yes.
You like using guidebooks?
Well, no, because I'm use mobile about this thing.
Before. Google.
But guidebooks are before Google Maps.
Not Google. Before yes, but now not Google Map. Another application about all country. All country have application specialist application in the country. Turkey, مثلا, maybe have a specialist application, and another country have a specialist application. All country have specialist application. But before,
can you give us an example?
Maybe in Turkey, use Trafi application.
Okay.
This name. In Bosnia.
It's very noisy. Can you move somewhere else? Hello, Ihab?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, I forget that, but have a specialist
another application. Okay.
Another application, yes. In Egypt also have specialist another application, but I don't know what name. All country, but before maybe before 2010. Have guidebook or guide list or like that.
Okay.
But now internet and mobile change everything.
True. Yeah. With the internet, I don't think you need guidebooks as in the past. So maybe guidebooks are a little outdated if we compare them to the services you can get online today.
But some people now use this guidebooks in.
Yes, but do you think there's an increase in the use of guidebooks, or do you think there's a decrease in the use of guidebooks?
Yeah, decrease, not increase.
Me too. I agree. I think there's a decrease. People don't use them as much as before because now everything is with a tap of your finger, right? You can find everything on your phone, maps and websites, blogs.
And so hard to use this guidebooks. Because you don't know about any when arrive this place, maybe any place to tourism, so maybe you don't have how back to the home or like that, because guidebook just go, not back.
Yeah, you're right. Yes. A guidebook isn't useful for showing you how to get back to your hotel, right?
Yes.
But maybe this is a disadvantage. Let's call it a disadvantage. This is one of the disadvantages of guidebooks, that you can't use them to move, right? You can only use them to go to places.
And also in another material in university, like medicine, most books guide. Or book guide, like about that.
Maybe, but I think here the topic is more about for tourism and traveling, I think.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, now we're gonna read about the story of one of the most famous guidebooks in the world. It's actually a company We're going to read and learn a little bit about it. Have you heard of Lonely Planet? Has anybody checked the website of Lonely Planet or used any of their guidebooks?
No.
No? Okay, they're very famous actually, and even online tonight, just type in anything, any country, let's say Istanbul, tourist places Istanbul, or tourist places Tunisia, for example. Okay, in the top sites, in the top search sites in Google, one of them will definitely be Lonely Planet. It will be in the top 5 maybe, or top 3, because it's a very famous tourist service. Okay, it's very popular, it's big, it's quite famous. In today's reading part, we will learn a little bit about the history of this company, how it started, why is it so famous today, and how it all started. We'll find out. But first of all, let's check the question. What does the question say? It says here, look at the photos and read the article, then match headings 1 to 5 to paragraphs A to E. So this means we have 5 paragraphs, A, B, C, D, E. So we have 5 paragraphs. And we also have 5 headings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But to match this, we have to first read the article, okay? So first step, let's read the article. And after that, we'll do the matching. But let's look at the photos they want us to check. So look at the photos. Where are the photos? Can you see this photo?
Yes, this is the book, I think.
Yeah. This couple, we will find out about this couple and the story of this couple and their company. And you can see in here the other photos. This is an example of one of their guidebooks. Can you see what's written on the guidebook? I don't know if you can read it. What does it say here?
Southeast Asia.
Under it, what's written under
on
it?
A shoestring. On a
shoestring. Do you know what this means? On a shoestring?
No.
It's an expression. Najat, have you heard of this expression? On a shoestring? Maybe you have. Have you heard of this expression, on a shoestring? Okay, so it's new.
No.
Okay, so on a shoestring, in English, it usually means a very small budget. Very small budget. Do you get the idea? This means economy tourism. Do you understand? It means tourism with very little money. You don't have a lot of money. Do you get the idea? Is it clear? Shoestring.
Yes.
Okay, let me write it. So this is an expression actually, and they use it a lot in English. So if you say on a shoestring, if you say, for example, I traveled on a shoestring, this means on a small, or you can say on a tight budget. You get the idea? Without spending a lot of money. This is the meaning. So of course, on a shoestring, it means you can't stay in 5-star hotels. You can't take business class. You can't get taxis. Do you get the idea? You have to save money because you don't have a lot of money. This is the meaning. Okay, anyways, let's start. Let me take you to the beginning of the article. And let's read the world's greatest travelers. So you can start reading and then I'll scroll down. Has everybody finished paragraph B?
Yes.
Okay, when you're finished, just let me know.
Okay. I finish.
Okay. Anyone else? Done? Sana, have you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now let's do the headings part. Let's match the right heading to the right paragraph. Let me read the headings for you. So number 1, it says a romantic adventure. Which paragraph do you think is the best one for this heading? A romantic adventure.
B.
B.
B, yes.
B?
Yes.
Okay, okay. There seems to be agreement here. So maybe B is right. Okay, number 2, online, on TV, and on your phone.
E.
E? Is this
D.
E?
I think D. D. D.
Yes, D. Yes, D.
Yeah.
I think the last one.
Because paragraph D talks about their TV program and also their apps.
Yes.
Okay. So this means number 2 is D. Number 3, guidebooks for the planet.
A.
A. Yes. Number 3.
Okay.
A.
All right. Because it talks about how many books they've sold. Okay. Are you sure?
I don't know.
Najat, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Even me, yes. I think yes.
Okay. How to understand the world? Which heading?
Number D.
I think we've done a good thing.
Yes, the last one, A.
Yeah, because the last sentence, travel is the best way to understand the world. Maybe 4 is for E, yes. Their first bestseller. Which paragraph talks about their first bestseller?
C.
Yeah, so this one is actually their first bestseller. It was first published in 1973. And imagine just only this edition. I mean, this one alone, it sold over 1 million copies.
Yes.
So you can see that their guidebooks are quite successful, right? Okay, so we finished the first part now. Let's check these follow-up questions. Number 4. How long has Lonely Planet been publishing guidebooks? For how long have they been publishing?
For about
40 years. For 30 years.
40 years.
40 years. So they've been publishing guidebooks for 40 years.
40 years.
It's a long time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did Tony and Maureen do on their honeymoon? What did they do?
They travel across Europe and go to
Europe and Asia.
To Australia.
So they went to Australia in a van.
Yes.
Right? From England, from the UK to Australia in a van.
They had only 27 cents.
Yeah. What do you think of this trip, by the way? Going from the UK to Australia in a van. What do you think of this?
I think it's great.
It's fun, right? It's crazy.
Yes.
And it takes very, very long. I remember my longest bus drive, not bus, it's coach. It was from London to Madrid. It took 27 hours on a bus from London to Madrid. But imagine from London to Australia. Imagine how long. It says a few months later. So it took a few months. So clearly it took a long time. All right, very nice. So what did Tony and Maureen do? They traveled across Europe and Asia to Australia. So where did they write their second guidebook?
Singapore.
Where did they write it? In Singapore.
Singapore.
In Singapore, yes.
Yes.
Right, in a hotel room in Singapore. This was their second guidebook, right? And how many books has Lonely Planet published? How many books?
Over
605
million.
That's correct. They've published over 650 books. That's a lot, right? And
Yes.
all of these are about tourism and traveling. So maybe some of them are not, I don't know. But it's a big number. What is the thorn tree? What's the thorn tree? What is it?
This is a website or
Yes, it's an internet forum. What does it mean when we say internet forum, by the way?
Like forum for a visa for the London or for England or something, yeah.
Forum is a bit like a blog. It's like a blog, not exactly, but it's like a blog, and you can ask questions and people will answer you. Do you get the idea? It's like now you can do this on Facebook pages. Like for example, here on Facebook, and we have the page, where can I find in Tripoli? Do you know this page? Where can I find in Tripoli?
Yes.
It's a very popular page now, and if you ask anything, somebody will answer you. If you say where can I buy a new power banks? Where can I buy power banks? So someone will answer and say, go to Shara Madar, the third shop, we have great prices, blah, 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 blah. It's like this.
Yes, yeah.
يعني زي المنتدى نوعا ما. يعني هذا طبعا قبل قصة الفيسبوك. So it's a special website where you can learn about traveling, you can get tips, maybe people who've traveled before, because most of these websites, they depend on reviews. So for example, if you're not sure about a restaurant, you can just check the reviews of the place, people who visited
Here is the definition of thorn tree. Is one of the most popular places online for advice on traveling independently.
Yes, yes. And the focus is traveling independently. So traveling on your own is probably the focus. But what is it exactly? It's an internet forum. يعني منتدى, or you can just say website if you're really not sure. But this is the meaning of forum. Okay, let's check our next question. I think it's the last one. Let's take a look. It says, what else do Lonely Planet do? What else do they do?
Have a magazine.
They have magazines.
And apps
for
the phone.
They have also apps.
Program on TV.
Programs on TV, yes.
Yeah. They actually have a channel, a television company, Lonely Planet TV. So they have a full channel just for their business, right? So it's a complete channel about tourism. So they have a channel. It makes programs since 2004. So this is not very old, right? It's it's a bit recent, 16 years ago. Okay, so this was the story about Lonely Planet and how the company started, and its founders, Tony and Maureen, how they started it. Can you see Tony and Maureen? I'm curious, I want to see them now because this looks like an old photo. Tony and Maureen, what are their Wheeler? Let me take a look. Can you see them in the photos?
Yes.
This is the photo we have in the book. This is a photo. Can you see the same book? This is the first book. Can you see it? نفس اللي عندنا في الدرس. The first one. This is the first one they wrote. Here you can see them. They're young. This is a more recent photo. They're a bit older now. But I think they're a very successful couple, right? Let's see if they have any old photos in Australia when they arrived in Australia. Australia. Yeah, let's see. Maybe we can find pictures of. I don't think they have any of the old photos. Okay. Yeah, anyways, we can go back. I'm just curious. So this is when they were younger, of course. Now, let's do a little bit of grammar where, of course, we finished for today, but I just want to show you some of the things we will cover. And let me show you the first main difference. So here I want you to tell me, let me show you the question. It says, look at sentences number 1 and 2 in bold in the article. So let's take a look at sentence number 1 and sentence number 2. Can you see sentence number 1 here? The company has been publishing guidebooks for 40 years. Has been publishing. So what is this has been publishing? Is it present perfect simple or present perfect continuous? Has been publishing.
Present perfect continuous.
Correct. Okay, okay. And number 2, the book has been a bestseller since it was published in 1973. What is this? Is it present perfect simple or present perfect continuous? Has been.
Perfect simple.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, according to this, it says there are 2 rules. It says we usually use the continuous or simple to talk about an activity that started in the past and it continues in the present. And the second rule, you have to choose continuous or simple. We use the present perfect continuous or present perfect simple to talk about a state that started in the past and continues in the present. What do you think? Which one is the activity and which one is the state? The continuous, the present perfect continuous, or the present perfect simple? What do you think? Okay, to help you a bit, I'll take you back to the examples. The first one, the one about publishing, is this a state or is it an activity? Has been publishing books for 40 years. What is it?
Activity.
It's an activity. It's an activity, right? And the second one has been a bestseller. A bestseller. Is this an activity or a state?
Correct.
It's a state. So this means if we had to answer the rule, this means we use the present perfect continuous to talk about an activity that started in the past and it continues today. And we use the present perfect simple to talk about a state that started in the past and continues today. Okay? So this is one of the main differences. In our next lesson on Wednesday, we'll talk a little more about this. We'll do a few exercises and the differences between the present perfect simple and present perfect continuous will be clear and it will be easy to understand, okay? So I'll see you in our next lesson. Have a good evening. Thank you for your time.
You too.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
See you next time. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.